All right. Sorry about that. So we have a lot of things to cover up on our disposal. So we would not wait for a second for anyone would proceed, and we have this section recorded for a time frame. So if you go to the group, you find an overview. There is an overview for everything we'll be doing for the next 1 month. We have a time frame for the covering of everything we're running from today. We have a time frame for it. So we have a very limited time. So in the course of this training, we'll be looking at candlestick anatomy, right? So we'll be looking at candlestick anatomy, and that's going to be the first concept, the very, very first concept we'll be looking at. If you have a page of the overview, I would want you to pop it up and look around with me. Candlestick anatomy, which read under it, just as humans, candlesticks have different body sizes. And when it comes to trading, it is important to check out the bodies of candlesticks and understand the psychology behind it. So on candlestick anatomy, we'll be looking at what candlesticks are. Now, we're not going to do, listen to this. It's very important to you know, I mentioned this here. The overview we are handling, or the concepts we have propelled, are concepts that we've hovered around over several years of experience. And in the bid of getting what works and what doesn't in the financial market, this concept is really scrutinized to helping you become a perfect, very profitable trader within a short time. So the candlestick anatomy, you know why we are going to be dealing on everything we'll be talking about on the candlestick anatomy. All right. Basically, I believe the overview is very, very should I say, it's been on the platform. So it's been on the platform, so you can always go back on it. Okay, I am popping up my screen again, so you can have absolute view of everything. So so we're gonna start right away. We're gonna start right away with the very, very basic of it all. I believe you can see my screen. You can see my screen. I need a reassurance once again that you can see my screen, because we are yet on it for the
yes, we can see it.
all right. It's very important you do. So we are going to talk about candlesticks today. Now, if you notice what you're seeing on my screen, you're seeing what is called candlesticks. 1 minute. Okay. Yes, these are candlesticks. Green and white candles. At the end of this particular section, you will be able to understand what these are, how they came about, what they mean, the psychology behind all of it. So we'll be learning about that. If you have a jotter, a note, I would want you to make very, very good use of it at this moment. All right. So I'm gonna start with we're gonna start with exactly the history of candlesticks. I'm gonna start with the history of candlesticks. So like I mentioned before, these are candlesticks. The green and that's the green and white candlesticks. So on your subtopic, you will just want to put down the history of candlestick. So we're going to start from the very, very basic. From the very, very basic of everything you're seeing here, we're going to start from that. So we'll have here, we'll be having here the history history. History. Of candlesticks. The history of candlesticks. Right? So we're going to be looking at the history of candlesticks. All right. You there? Okay, now it is very important. It's very important, very, very important. Candlesticks, very important you take note of this. Candlesticks have been around a lot longer than anything similar in Western world. This white and green sticks you see has been in existence lot longer than anything you can imagine in the Western world. Now, these are called the Japanese candles. These are the Japanese candles. All right. Now, the Japanese were looking at charts. We're giving the history. What are we giving? The history of candlesticks. And what are candlesticks? Like I mentioned before, I said that candlesticks are this green and white sticks you're seeing on my charts. These are candlesticks. We're giving the history of candlesticks, right? Now, and I said that candlesticks, that is this. Let me bother my chart so good enough so that these green and white sticks you see on my chart have been around a lot longer than anything similar in the Western world. Okay? The Japanese were looking at charts as far back as 17th century. You're taking note of what I'm saying? Whereas the earliest known charts in the US appeared in the 19th century. Now, candlestick has been in existence since the 17th century. All right? We had rice trading. Yeah, we had rice trading, right? Rice trading had been established in Japan in 1654. I repeat that. I said rice trading has been established in Japan in 1654 with gold, silver, and rapeseed oil soon after. Rice markets dominated Japan at this time, and the community became, it seems, more important than hard currencies. Now we have Homer, Moniasia Homer, okay, aka Shoik Homer. The Japanese rice trader. He was born in the early 1700s. He's widely credited now. This Homer is widely credited as being one of the earlier exponents of tracking price action. Now, what we're doing here for you is this. We're teaching you a raw term called price action trading. This is beyond the strategies you might have heard about. I don't want to talk about Forex history here. I fully understand that before you sign up for this particular section, you have a depth knowledge of what we do here, of what Forex is. You have a depth knowledge of the opportunity that awaits you in the Forex industry, in the Forex market. So if you can practically understand and analyze this market, truth be told, there is absolutely no limit to what you can make. And then we're taking you through the most perfect strategy to trading as an independent and professional trader, all you need to do is follow every training closely, and you will arrive at the exact destination you should be. When you're talking about the history of candlesticks, on which the basics of everything we're doing. Now, these candlesticks are not the market. It is important you take note of every single thing, every single word. I repeat, these candlesticks are not the market, but rather they represent the market. They are representatives of what's happening in the market. So I talked about Homer, right? And I told you that Homer was it can be credited towards to finding the Japanese candlestick. These are Japanese candlesticks. Listen carefully. He understood basic supply and demand dynamics. To progress to this training, you understand supply levels, demand levels, support levels, and resistance levels. It's important we continue. But also identify the fact that emotion played a part in the setting of price. Now, the emotions that has to do with humans is just the major reason why I am not going to teach you a particular strategy. Now, all right, there is no particular strategy that is bigger than you having your own mind, you having your free mind, knowing what happens in the market at a particular given time and knowing exactly how to follow it up. That is what makes you an independent professional trader. Having a basic knowledge of understanding, of purity. Then you come to the chart, when you look at the chart, you understand what traders are doing is what makes you a profitable trader. Okay, so you understand that the market is built on emotions. Remember that humans are those in participants in this financial market. We don't have robots here, humans. So humans have emotions, and of course, they take those emotions to their business lives, to the trading world. So you understand what happens at a particular moment gives you a superiority over those who build or base their analysis on a particular format, pattern, or style. It is very important you know this. We're headed somewhere. You following? I believe so. Now, he wanted to track who are we talking about? We're talking about Homer, or who has been accredited to the development of candlesticks as the Japanese candlestick. So Homer wanted to track the emotion of the market players. And his work became the basics of candlestick analysis. Now, everything he did became the basic of everything we'll be learning from this particular phase of our conversation here. He was extremely well respected to the point of being to samurai status. Those are the status then. The Japanese did an extremely good job of keeping candlestick quiet from the Western world, right up till the 1980s, when suddenly there was a large Japanese candlestick was invented in the 17th century, but became popular around the globe in 1980. How the Japanese huge secrets until the 1980s. If I'm too fast, you can call me to order. I'll slow a bit, but I hope you're. Let me get a response from you. You following our history, our genealogy, our down point? You there?
You're following, so.
Yes, please. It's very important you do. All right. In the 1980s was when the Westerners suddenly got wind of this mystic chart. Obviously, this was also about the time that charting in general suddenly became a lot easier due to the widespread use of the PC. Now, that's personal computer. Good about that. But in the late 1980s, several Western analysts became interested in candlestick in the UK. In the UK, Michael Finney, who was then head of IT London for Sumitomo, began using candlesticks in his daily work and started introducing the ideas to London professionals. It is very important to know that you think very let me put this very clear. What I'm trying to establish here is the importance of what I'm going to explain to you as we go on in this particular training. It's very important you know how this come about. All right. So in December 1989, edition of Future magazine, Steve Nielsen, who was a technical analyst at Merrill Lynch in New York, produced a paper that showed a series of candlesticks reversal patterns and explained their predictive powers. He went on to write a book on the subject, and a fine book it is too. Thank you, Finney, for doing such a great job, though. Since then, candlesticks have gained in popularity by the year, and till this day, they seem to be standard templates that most analysts work from. Now, trading candlestick is a very popular strategy all over the world. You go to the stock market, we use candlesticks as a form of analysis. To the crypto world, candlesticks is the basic theory for analysis. The oil market, candlestick is the basic theory for analysis. The largest financial market in the world, Forex, candlesticks is the basic analysis for traders. So literally, all analysis is based on candlestick analysis. So you mastering the concept on candlestick analysis gives you a wide and a broad knowledge of anything that has to do with the financial market. So looking at any market in particular, you can grasp an idea of how to place an analysis on that kind of market, irrespective of what is happening there. Be it stock, oil, bond, Twitter, whatever market it is, you will be able to read meanings from what you see using the candlestick analysis tool. Now let's look at why candlesticks are important to your trading analysis. Subheadings, you can put this one down on your notes. Why candlesticks are important to your trading analysis. Now, it's very important to know, one, why candlesticks are important. The benefit of having broad knowledge of candlesticks. One, candlesticks are important to your trading analysis because it is considered as a visual representation of what is going on in the market. Now, like I mentioned to you previously earlier, that this is not the market, but rather this is a representative of what is happening in the financial market. It is very important you know that this is not the market, but rather this is a visual representation of what is happening in the market. So having an idea of what is happening here automatically gives you a very, very plain information of what traders is doing in the market. So candlesticks is important to you because it is a visual representation of what is happening, of what is going on in the market. By looking at candlesticks, by mere looking at, I know this may look very strange to you. Of course, it should. It did to me the first day I set my eyes on it. It should also, and it's okay. But as we go on in this training, as we proceed, it's not just going to look confusing, but rather we add meaning. You look at these things with meaning attached to each of the openings and close of the candlesticks. All right. So by looking at these candlesticks, we can get valuable information about the open, high, low, and the close of price, which will give you an idea of the price movement. That is one benefit of why we're learning the candlesticks. You got the first point. Then the second point, two, candlesticks are flexible. They can be used alone or in combination with technical analytics tools, such as the moving average, all right, and the momentum oscillators. We'll come to that. We'll talk about moving average. Some of the technical indicators will be I will be merging for you guys on this training, on the course of this training. All right. They can be also used with methods such as the Doe theory or the Elliott wave theory. The Elliott wave theory is a totally different concept for what we've been doing here. This is the very basic. So if you want to go more deeper with us on the Doe theory or the Elliott theory, we'll talk about that. But we're looking at majorly candlesticks. So the very important factor I want you to grasp or take note of the benefit or the reason why we're learning about candlesticks or why we're going to be using candlestick as our major tool of analysis is this, that candlesticks are flexible. They can be used alone or in combination with technical analysis. So by looking at your chart, you can independently know what is happening in the financial market. All right. You can also combine this information with indicators like the moving average or the oscillators. We'll come to that. That's number two. But as for us here, I personally use candlestick with support and resistance. All right. And other technical tools like the Fibonacci retracement ratio. We'll talk about the Fibonacci retracement. That is, that will be after this particular concept. All right. So we're talking about. I use my candlesticks with support and resistance, Fibonacci retracement, trend lines. All right. So we'll look at all of those. Three, the human behavior in relation to money. Listen to this very carefully. The human behavior in relation to money is always dominated by fear, greed, and hope. All right. So candlestick analytics will help us understand these changing psychological factors by showing us how buyers and sellers interact with each other. Of course, there's nothing else we do in the financial market other than buying and selling, making money, investing our money. All right. So people do this thing on daily with these major personalities that is guided by fear, greed, and hope. So analyzing your market with the use of candlestick gives you every strategic tool you need to curb what is happening in the market. Are traders greedy? Are they over leveraging? It just gives you a comprehensive meaning to what's happening in the financial market. I've mentioned like up to 4 benefits why we be using candlesticks as our major analysis tool. The next reason is this: candlesticks provide more valuable information than bar charts. I'm not talking about bar chart, and I'm never going to waste a single moment to scrolling to bar chart and explaining bar chart. No, I'm not going to do that. All right. So we're going to stick on candlestick because this is what we're going to do. But it is very important you know that candlestick provide more valuable information than bar chart. Using them is a win-win situation. Now, using candlestick is a win-win situation for you because you can get all the training, that is all the trading signals that bar chart generates with the added clarity and additional signals generated by candlestick. So candlestick gives you back-to-back signals. And they are not just signals, they are clarities. With the proper utilization of candlestick, you stand a better chance of doing very, very well than your counterpart. This benefit is this: candlesticks are used by most professional traders. So we're giving you the best tool. We're handing over to you the best tool of analysis. Okay, so candlesticks around the whole world, like I mentioned before, are used by most professional traders, banks, hedge funds. These guys trade millions of dollars every day. Remember that the forex market generates over $6.6 trillion on the daily. So these guys trade millions of dollars on the daily. And what is their major tool of analysis? Candlesticks. So you're not learning candles. You're not learning. We're not giving you average. We're giving you the best. We're giving you the top notch. All right. So we're handling you the best, so you become the best. That is the goal here. All right. So they can move the market. So you just want to know. They can take your money, of course. You should know that if you don't understand the basic. Lastly, using candlestick patterns will help you understand what the big boys. What the big boys? Who are the big boys? The big boys are the banks, the hedge funds. All right. All right. So it is very important that you know that in every country, your central banks, your big banks trade forex. They trade forex. In fact, this is the basic of what the banks do. Have you asked yourself what the banks do with the money when you deposit them? They trade with your money, make huge returns, huge profit. So with this discovery, you will learn not to keep your money or save your money in the banks, but rather become a potential profitable investor in the area of your life. So using candlestick provides you with an understanding of what the bigger boys are doing, and we show you when to enter, when to exit, and when to stay away from the market. It is very important that we set these basics. It's very important that we set these basics. All right. So I've talked about candlesticks. I've given you the history of candlesticks, and I've also made it a very, very okay. I have given a very plain direction of what we're doing. It is very important that we start right away with what we going to be doing. Okay, so in that regard, it's very important. So I'm going to share my screen. I hope you can see my screen. Is this seeing my screen? Let me know. If you can see my screen, let me know. All right.
I can see it now.
Okay. Okay. All right. Give me a minute. A minute. All right. So based on our background introduction of candlestick, is there any non-question or confusion about candlesticks so far, or rather, we should continue? Now, what you are seeing on your chart is a candlestick. We started with the very concept. What is candlestick? Put it down on your notes, whatever. What is candlestick? Because sooner than later, it will be a very professional question to ask. I would need to ask you that question for you to give me an answer, but the market would rather ask you. And trust me, you don't want to answer. You don't want to get the answer wrongly, because the consequence won't be a minus, but rather would be a deficit or a pull away of profit in your trading account. So it's very important that you understand every single damn thing we're doing here. When questions are asked, it's very important you understand, because here there is not going to be an examination to pass you or to decide whether you have gotten what we do or not. But you will be left at the end of this section with the financial market. So your ability to trade effectively is the only visible result, or is the only visible evidence that you did well and you deserve an outcome. So what is candlestick? I repeat, Japanese candlesticks are formed using the open high, low, and close of the chosen time frame. If I'm fast, I would reduce my speed. It is very important that you get every single thing we're talking about. I said, what is candlestick? When I talk about candlesticks are Japanese candles. They are Japanese, they are language of the market. They're Japanese language. Just like you travel to Japan, you don't know how to speak Japanese. You don't know how to speak Japan language. You find it difficult to communicate. This is how it is. When you're trading with candlestick and you don't understand how candlestick is, because candlestick is the language of the financial market. As long as you're using it for your analysis. So candlesticks are formed. It's very important to know this. Candlesticks are formed. I use that word, formed. We're looking at what is candlesticks. Candlesticks are formed using the open one. I mentioned the open. Put it down. Open. The next thing is what? High. I repeat. Candlesticks are formed using the open, high, low, and close of the chosen time frame. And it's very important to know that there are different time frames in the financial market. If you have your chart open to the 5-minute candles, 5-minute time frame, that means that you have one candlestick open and close for 5 minutes. If you have your chart open to 3 minutes time frame, that means you have your chart, the candlestick open and close at each 3 minutes intervals. If you have your chart open to 15 minutes time frame, that means you have each candles open and close at every 15-minute interval. But I repeat my statement again, and I say that Japanese candlesticks are formed using what? The open, high, low, and close of the chosen time frame. Now, if you're seeing my chart, if you're seeing my screen, describe for me in just 2 seconds or just 2 seconds what you're saying. Describe for me what you're seeing on your chart. If you see my screen, please, quickly enough. We don't have time. What can you see on my screen?
Okay, we can see 2 candlesticks that have a long break and a big body, high and close, open and low. And
Good.
likewise, back also.
Good. That's all I want you to know. And this is everything you've mentioned to me right now is the simple answer to what is candlesticks. Comprised of the open, the close, the high, the low, and then the rebody. All right, so we will take a very short break for like 5 minutes. When we come back, we'll finish up on candlesticks. All right, so I will generate a different link up on the platform. You just come back for us to finish up. So take a few break, and so we can save this particular clip and then forward it back to the group. That'll be all. I'll come back in the next 10 minutes at most, and we will continue.